Okay, I'm on foliage macro because I'm heading towards the Bernardas up there, and I'll get you some closer shots. But as I was saying, as I vaguely remember, my probably my memoirs, is they rocked up to the show this last time, and they said, "Oh, I think we lost 1/3 of the greenhouse. You know, fell off the back of the trailer." And they didn't bloody stop the car and go back for it, but it was in this sort of half laughing, half nonchalant, because it'd been on the back end of a decade or so of, you know, Friday night we chopped the legs off with a hacksaw, Monday morning we take the chopped off bits and the thing and they weld them back on the Monday sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, they don't weld them back on themselves, the company that they take it back to welds it back on. So they go back on the Monday, not only with the legs cut off, but with a third of the greenhouse apparently missing. Just lobbed the remainder on the front counter. And of course, I then have glandular fever over that summer period. I wanted to get new plastic from solar weave. So the one time in my life I go to make use of the, I think it was 10% discount that my Carnivorous Plant Society would get on solar weave from this company. My mum can't actually get it because she has to go down to, because I've got glandular fever, I can't, you know, so she's like getting the instructions from under the door of the house to go down and get me this plastic. And what do they say? We don't deal with that crowd anymore, because basically they just dumped the greenhouse stuff on the counter with 1/3 of it missing. Didn't even bother to tell them what had happened, apparently anyway, and no offer to pay for it, you know what I mean? You know, I would have been so embarrassed myself. I would have said, you know, we'll just buy the greenhouse. We've used it for 10 years. We might as well, we're probably going to be using it for another 10. We might as well buy the whole bloody thing. The society can pay for it, sort of thing. You know, oh, I think at that time we had 20, well, we didn't know we had 20 grand in the bank then. That's how bad it was. Oh, you don't want to look at the books. Oh, you know, why do you want to look at the books? Yeah, apparently we had 19,500, they said. This was as of about September 2003. They said back in 99 we had 19.5 grand in the bank, and we were just blown away. What? We had that much money in the... Where's it all gone? Well, I think the reason what we had some sort of like $5,000 hole somewhere. I suspect it has a lot to do with the non-existence of Donald Snell's second edition. Yeah. We've gone through this series of Nepenthe's books, another Nepenthe with about a third run. Okay, it's now time for the society to do a generalist CP book, and oh yes, it's going to be Donald Snell's second edition. It's just in time for that. Never happened. When it turned up, the book apparently was about, I think it was 300 grams, I think it was, over the weight limit. 300, I think it was something nominal like that. But by being 300 grams over, it doubled the postage. So it went from being like $8.45 or something back in those prices to close to 24, I think it was. I think it was like went up to 24.95 or something outrageous like that. It was something, you know, a dramatic increase in postage. We've basically doubled the price of, you know, the postage, and therefore made sending the book out, you know. So whether we had a whole load of orders for the book and we had to write letters back to say, I'm very sorry, we can't actually send it to you because we can't afford the postage. Are you willing to pay the postage? I don't know. But something really strange happened. As I say, it went over the weight limit by about 300 grams, I think it was, and it caused the postage to double. And there's near the airmail postage. You know, I think people have been so amazed in the past of how quickly our stuff had got to America and things like that. Like they got it like 3 months before it even appeared in America and things like that before, because we were sending things out like airmail. That's what happened with the Gordon Cheers book. I think Donald Snell has Gordon Cheers for 3 months, I think, before it even turned up in America. You know, it was already read, reviewed, and the publication going out in CPN before it even turned up in America. But of course, maybe they had to send it out CMO, but it was even worse than that, because the actual book, the timber press, stuffed up, I reckon. Because you can tell, because Donald Snell in one of his things in CPN talked about, oh, they did a fantastic job, they corrected all these spelling mistakes, and they've got lovely footnotes. But when you open them, it's got great big blank spaces down the bottom. There's hardly a footnote in the thing, and there's lots of spelling mistakes all over the place. And I reckon what happened is, not only did it go over the reason it probably went over the weight limit is because they stuffed up in the printing process. They probably they sent the wrong format to the printer, and maybe they tried to rejig it or something, and it lost all the footnotes. And maybe that's what all the Stuart McPherson bizzo is, the Sarah Senior of North America with Donald Snell thing is all about. Basically, I get the impression that is really the second edition of Donald Snell's book has now come out for a second time, or the third printing of it. It's gone through Stuart McPherson sort of thing. I don't know whether they're going to be honest enough in the foreword or the front of the book or the back of the book to say that. I don't know, but that's basically what I've gauged from the situation. But because of that, I reckon we got this like $5,000 hole in our finances, and after that, you know, I think people started saying, well, you know, should I really pay for my subscription? I've just lost this money. I don't know if they lost the money for the book, or they got the money refunded but didn't get the book, and then they had to wait another 3 months or something to appear in America or something. I don't know. I don't think Timber Press ever put out an apology. I think that I'd see an apology is almost like an admission of guilt, isn't it? But you know, the evidence is there in the book. If you've got a copy of Donald Snell's book, the best Sarah Senior photograph is not on the front cover, which is very strange. The best Venus flytrap photograph is not actually in the Venus flytrap section. The Venus flytrap section is very scant. So there is a lovely photograph of the Venus flytrap in the book, but it's not in where it should be. There's lots of blank spaces down the bottom of the pages, big large margins. I assume they would have been for very, very detailed footnotes. Apparently they were supposed to be, but they didn't actually turn up. But anyway, so and then of course the subscription started falling off, and I'm thinking, well, why are subscriptions suddenly falling off? You know, so you go from like 20 grand, and you know, they're saying, oh, we're paying for the subscription, we're paying for the printing of the bulletin. And I'm thinking, and everyone accepted this, and then about 6 months later, well, the penny drops. Well, hang on, isn't the subscription supposed to pay for the printing of the bulletin? So why are the subscriptions drying up and you're not being able to pay for the printing, which gets you the subscription because people keep coming back for more? And I reckon I think it keeps coming back to the fact, I reckon it was the Donald Snell debacle with Timber Press that basically put the nail in our coffin, basically. And all this emphasis on the Nepenthes, I mean, okay, I understand a lot of Nepenthes out there, a lot of people like them, but when it came for the generalist people to have another, generally it all got stuffed up, and then I reckon it basically destroyed the whole society. You know, my kind of, and they haven't published a bulletin, newsletter or anything since. Thought they'd go to some sort of whiz-bang website, and basically Facebook has put paid to that, and all these self-blog things, and I don't think there is going to be any more publications or anything. It's mainly because, as I said, the CP revolution is only beginning in its infancy, and I think, as I said, I think it's all going to be based on flammable gas generation in the soils. You know, if you've got a soil that can generate the flammable gas, you've got the start of, you know, the ability of CPs and related so-called low nutrient poor plants to grow in the area, sort of thing. It all stems from that tip of the pinnacle, tip of the iceberg sort of thing, tip of the triangle sort of thing. It all works out from, does the soil generate, has it got the ability to generate, when wet, hydration reaction again, flammable gas. And I said I'd put it on macro, and I'm probably burning up the megs, and we still haven't even got to the Bernardo section yet on this track. It's up ahead, so I'll start a new clip from here, I think.